I was having trouble unlocking the final cache, for the pants or whatever, the pants apparel item. And I figured that out. I just needed to donate one more key. So if anyone's having trouble saying, yeah, go to the vendor and you'll get your gear there, whatever, you're looking, you're like, okay, the vendor doesn't have it. Like, all you have to do is donate one more item, and you'll be good to go. So keep that in mind. I mean, that confused the hell out of me. I just thought, like, I donated 1 million keys, so I don't know why the hell it wasn't working, and then I donated one more, and it was like, boom, there it is. So just donate one more, and then it should let you, when you go hover back over that donate option, it'll have the open cache option next to it, So donate a key and then go in and check it out. You should see it right there then.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Yeah, a lot of flammable shit here. I don't like that. Oh no. That was my person there. Yeah, get over here. That's a better idea.
We lost a friend. Reloading.
One more. Alright, so that is one down. Okay, that will do as our second. And it's nice and close. I try to, hit these as quickly as possible, one after the other, so I don't get bogged down fighting these dust devils. It's a good idea. Look on the map and see which area there are 3 activities in close proximity to one another, and hit that.
Access key detected.
Oh shit. Sorry, I almost shot the hostage.
Detecting additional hostile
Somebody
contacts.
just blinded me. Yeah, you don't want to catch a headshot. 3,700,000 damage. Yeah, that's... Ow. I'm wearing my sunglasses. I can barely freaking see. They're like blue tinted sunglasses, and they seem to be filtering out the blue light, making it difficult to distinguish. I actually have a pair of that are also for filtering out the red light that will actually sharpen things up. Okay, you guys good to go. I'll take that. Yeah, and then this will pretty much conclude, I mean, unless you want to play through to get all those skins and stuff by donating more and more and more keys, but again, like I said, I don't really care. I got the prototype Desert Eagle. Personally, I think it sucks ass. It has one slot for modification, And yeah, for one, the appearance is ridiculous. You're putting like a submachine gun scope onto a pistol, which is just absurd. You wouldn't even be able to holster it because of how, unless you had a magnetic holster. And the recoil is insane. It's just, freaking catastrophic. I guess this could count as the third, right? Yeah, it's in the district, even though we'll actually get it before that, but... I hear a heavy... You hear that? Is he coming up the stairs? Let's have the turret find him. Weird. It's definitely not me running that I hear. It can't be. Let's take this way down, this slow way down, so I don't end up descending right into the middle of a group of these asshole freaking dust devils. Oh shit, see?
This crap armor! Go!
Use up all my freaking rifle ammo on this guy. Oh shit. One behind me.
Get me out of there! They're gonna kill me!
Yes, I am. There's more moving up on me. I may have to fall back onto the roof. Probably have to fall back just to get ammo. Let's see. Is there an ammo location nearby? I think that's food. No.
Here's the part where you die!
Look at all these rifles. Oh man, if they were dropping prototypes here, it would be freaking Christmas. Even once every freaking 1,000 items. You gotta admit, that would be sick, right? Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to fall back for ammo.
Give him something to remember us by! Lost my armor! Ah!
No.
On make you my goddamn accessory.
Accessory. Yeah, I was doing between level 3 and level 5 escalations with a few other players. You know, it just match make for escalation. It's a quick way to get a lot of gear because you have like twice as many enemies versus solo in it, and it does help having support, especially if you have like a you know, someone with healing focused stuff. I mean, I've got my healing drone, but it's really just about providing accelerated armor repair and health versus being like a true fixer. You know, true fixer, you need like level 3 skill tier. That's your, I think, your bare minimum. This is some of the stuff I was getting from the level 3 one, the last one I did. But you know how you get those players who don't even wait for everyone to get into position? Yeah.
My skin! Fucking armor! Here's your ticket, fucker!
Trying to get away from this building. But, oh yeah, I also learned something that may be of critical importance for build design. And that is that basically when you get, when you build expertise on a non-armor core item, according to Google, I don't know if this is true, but I use this Google AI to be able to, you know, get the fine points of the Division 2 to try to learn every little, you know, angle there is for a build. But when you do that, like for example, you get it up to level 30 armor on a weapon damage core item, for example, Iraldi Holdings. You see the red core, it's weapon damage. I will not get all that extra percentage contributed toward like the entire build. Do you understand? It's just for that item. So, and you get a tiny little amount of additional armor. So it's really, I think it's kind of stupid, honestly, because that means that the only reason to get to level 30 or increase your levels really at all is just, you know, when it comes to like armor builds, you could build like an insanely high armor build and get all that extra from the expertise percentage. But that's that's ridiculous. Like, I mean, think about that. That's you're putting all that down. I don't think we're gonna make it in time for this freaking this thing with all these guys I'm encountering. I'm gonna have to, yeah, I'm gonna have to double time it over there.
System curtailed.
Oh shit!
How the hell did you get over here?
System back online.
My system just got
Hostile
curtailed.
explosive seeker mine
That means we are
detected.
facing a hunter. This is fucking stupid. You can't even look over the cover. What do you have to stand at the sign to see if you can get on the rides when you go to the fair? This guy like 4'11". Come on. So you're able to deploy a health kit, an armor kit, while you're being shot in the face with a frickin' 700,000 plus damage rifle? Doesn't seem very realistic to me. All about your position. As I just illustrated, if you're struggling with these hunters, choose your battlefield. That's the best advice I can give you. You see the difference it makes. Don't ever fight someone on their terms. They choose a battleground. You're fighting on their terms. They control the tempo, all of that. But let's see if there's anything interesting. Yeah, you know, see, it's just more of the same high-end shit. But yeah, if you choose the environment, you get the advantage. That's why I fell back to the roof there as soon as I detected that hunter. If I had stuck it out on the street, then it becomes 50-50, you know? Maybe he would have killed me. You know, I couldn't be sure.
Detected. The control point in proximity.
Yeah, move. And we're going to do it Vermont style. Look at that, a double exotic drop. Holy cannoli, look at this. You gotta be kidding me. Where are they? There's some friendlies over there. gas, gas, gas. That's what you say in the army when you detect gas
Incoming backup
to
request.
alert everybody. Maybe that's a request for a realism mode. It says story, unless it's just a new player playing it for the first time during this event.
Help! I'm surrounded! Stop! I need bullets!
When you got friendlies around, that's probably the best time to break down gear. This is actually a pretty good LMG, despite the mag being, you know, the box magazine being so damn small. I got the shotgun the other day, pretty decent, you know, obviously not that great. It's not even over the 50% mark of the core attributes and the other attributes, but 2.3 million and a range that is, or a range that is greater than the lockdown, as you can see. I mean, it's got 46 instead of what, 31. 74 or 75, but this also has a much bigger magazine too, and I believe you can enhance that. You can add more. That's actually a pretty good bittersweet. I might keep that and swap whatever I have in my stash, you know. That's what I do whenever I find one I already have. I'll wait until I get to my stash, compare it to what I have in the stash, and break down the runt of the litter, you know. Provocator, huh? No, attributes are maxed. I hear the music getting spicy, suggesting that I'm about to face a boss.
Friendly control point nearby.
I know it's an aerial recon. Oh no! Oh no! I should have no trouble with getting a rifle alloys, right? I mean, damn. It's a lot of alloys. Let's see how this bad mamma jamma does. 700,000 plus damage. Very small magazine, which is actually not realistic since the M14 or M1A rifle can carry up to standard a 30 round without any, you know, specialty brands. I believe it came up to a 30 round magazine, because you got to remember the M14, which is the same weapon basically, just the automatic version, was used in the Vietnam War as the combat rifle. If you had a 20 round magazine, you wouldn't last freaking, you know, I mean, that would be the most idiotic freaking combat rifle ever. But so what they did, like, small magazines were actually one of the biggest problems of the Vietnam War, including with the M16, because the M16 had just been developed, and for some reason they had these stupid ass 20 round magazines for a weapon that had, you know, auto, and they were having such trouble finding 30 round magazines for the M16 that these guys were taping their magazines together so they could flip them around quick. Like the Mac V SOG guys were talking about these stupid 20 round mags and having to make do with them. You know, just how ridiculous it was. All the trouble they had. I mean, you're fighting NBA who are coming at you from every direction, overrunning your position, and you're having to swap between tiny little 20 round mags with these weak little 5.56 rounds. That's why a lot of those Mac V SOG guys would still carry the M14s, or if they found an M14 or trade a Marine or something for an M14. But they would keep one of those because with a big enough magazine, it's basically like a BAR. That's really what the M14 was. It's like a BAR that is more accurate. I mean, not that accurate, but more accurate than a BAR and lighter than a BAR. while firing basically the same round, like a 30 caliber round. Pretty much, not exactly, but I think the 308 is actually better than a 30 caliber, a 30-06, round personally. But I mean, it's probably the most proven, realistic round to use for intermediate range
Supply
combat
drop detected.
because it hits with so much freaking force, but it's also not huge either, and it's not hard to come by, They have the 7.62 by 51, which is like the NATO equivalent, more or less, but it's not as powerful actually as a 308. A 308 is much more powerful. Let's stroll right up into the middle of the freaking, in the middle of the position here.
Vital signs critical.
I didn't know yet. Let's get the going. Finish him.
Supply drop nearby.
One of the big problems with the M1A and the M14, as I mentioned, was the inaccuracy.
There goes my shield.
That's why for everyone who's played the Last of Us 2, where you're at the part with Tommy, and you're picking off the roamers or whatever they're called,
Decent shot.
the runners, from a distance. Realistically,
Can't see them.
I mean, for one, you'd have to adjust your scope to hit with that kind of accuracy. There's pretty good pretty good grouping at maybe 150 to 200 meters, but when you get past that, you're going to see some trouble. And they were shooting it at 300 to 400 meters, 500 meters in some cases, even up to the ski lift thing where it was like closer to like 700 meters, 800 meters. So, yeah, at that distance, yeah, that would be tricky without, that is, a match grade barrel, which is what they started doing because the M1A was so notoriously inaccurate.
Fighting is much.
It is also famously reliable because of the play and the action, which basically, when it comes to weaponry, the more play there is in the action, the more inaccurate the weapon is typically, but also the more reliable. Because the more, play you have in the action, dust and dirt and carbon getting dunked up in there won't cause the mechanical parts to lock up against each other, like the AK-47 or the STG-44 or any of these weapons that were basically designed for reliability first and foremost. So that's why there's a little wiggle in that action and whatnot. That's not necessarily a bad thing in a difficult environment. Like, that's what you would need. That's why an AK-47 will fire underwater versus a M16 typically will not, or it will jam after the first shot because there's no real room for everything to move around, nice and smoothly with a little bit of extra wiggle there, Not to mention when you're shooting underwater, that would mean you have the round is perfectly lined up against the barrel with all that weight of the water down the barrel having to push it out, So obviously that's why it severely diminishes the velocity in that kind of situation. But that's why they even have specialized weapons for underwater
Friendly supply contract in
use,
proximity.
military, whatever, underwater type shit. But the whole point is, yeah, that play in the M1A meant reliability. It meant it was a lot easier to use in shitty conditions. Where the M16, yeah, it had a forward assist on it and whatnot, which is like, kind of okay. But the whole point was it was really, it was really about having that extra play in the action and everything to maintain. When you have dust and dirt and mud and shit all over the weapon, to be able to maintain fire, not worry about a jam while there are NBA regulars coming into your position and freaking, getting ready to bayonet you. You really do not want to have a jam under those circumstances for obvious freaking reasons. That's kind of the point. The M1A, if it wasn't so heavy, like when they did they'd done shorter versions of the M1A, like the SOCOM and whatnot, and those are great because it's so much lighter, that it doesn't have the accuracy, of course, because the barrel is shorter, and that's where you get most of your accuracy from with a rifle. And just like the M16, that's actually a more accurate weapon. Again, however, it jams easily, and it has a small round. You do not want a small caliber when you are kicking it off, with some serious bad mamma jammas. That's about the last thing you want. I don't know if this is going to kill me from how much damage I was taking there.
It'll all be over soon.
Oh my god, did it kill me? No, it didn't kill me. Holy cannoli, it didn't kill me. That's insane. He must have missed landing one of those frickin' bolts he fired at me.
Incoming hostiles detected. Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Let's burn it up.
Shit. They're already on me.
Supply drop claimed.
They're gonna be moving up from both directions.
Incoming hostiles detected. Detecting additional hostile contacts. Incoming hostiles detected.
Sometimes it's easier to just fight them all first and then pick up your gear after. But during this event,
Supply drop.
there's going to be enemies from the Dust Devils coming up onto this position too, so I don't really want to hang around here any longer than necessary.
Supply drop claimed.
You see that? Dust Devils appeared. They're going to be coming up that fast rope any moment now.
Supply drop claimed.
Okay, so that should be 3 events, I
All
think.
crates are now empty. Supply drop successful.
Thought I saw a gas can to my side there, but I guess I was mistaken. I was considering lighting the gas can next to her, but there you go. I tried to increase the dead zone size so that my stick wouldn't like jump around so much when I go to to touch it to aim, but it doesn't seem to be working. It's just like, I don't know, I don't think these Hall sticks work very well with the calibrations in this game. Not this one anyway. I think I need to get the better ones first, the $25 extreme rate ones, for it to actually I hope that'll do it, and I don't have to buy an entire new freaking DualSense, because these things are freaking expensive as hell. And one of the most dodgy freaking controllers I've ever gotten with a console started drifting right from the jump. From the moment I started, well, not from the moment, but you know what I'm saying. Within a few months, like 2 or 3 months, it was starting to drift, and I was like, okay, here we go. And it was not from being dirty either. I cleaned it multiple times. I would check it for dust, all that. No, that wasn't it. It's just a bad design. It actually had better, the actual receptacles for the sensors wear out faster too. And it's such a pain in the ass that even if you stick with the standard sticks, like the regular sensors, I recommend removing the sticks and getting a higher quality brand to install onto the board, instead of the ones just getting the same kind over, because the PlayStation, whatever brand they use, because they just they suck. Companies getting cheaper and freaking cheaper, and then doing all this crap with killing the physical games is just not a good move. I personally think that they're about to create a new generation of gaming for PC gaming, because of just of doing that. I think it's just a horrible move that is not going to go well. Okay, so we got that one. Now the NGN Battery Park, 2 bridges. All right, well, we're pretty close to, no, we're not that close to 2 bridges, but look, we got a lot of activities. Look, we have 3 right here. We'll fast travel to the safe house. Oh wow, the spot is hot. I think we need to get some high ground quickly. I evaded the bosses. I didn't intend to do that. I was just trying to get to an elevated position. You can see how powerful the rifle is. I can even compromise and do the breaking point mask to bring the rifle damage up even higher. But if I do that, I'm also losing vision area. Also, I'm losing a lot of range, which is very important for the LMG. Alright, so should we take a look? Let's see. I'll probably have to cut this video short because it takes so long just to go through, and do this. But so the first one is a backpack. So this is it. That's it? I don't know who the hell Charles is, but this is another one of these frickin' live streamers that they're sponsoring. Like all these dudes who have Division-related channels and stuff that the Division is sponsored. I know that a lot of them have like gear and stuff. I guess we'll start with this one. But yeah, they don't seem like packs that are really... they need to just go with like less is more when it comes to apparel. You know what I'm saying? Not like all this ridiculous freaking multicolored crap. Just like a tactical pack that a soldier would actually want to use in a combat environment. And then what you do to make it even cooler, that's where you can then adjust the skins. That's the whole idea with the dyes. That you can change them up, to something else. I guess that's the random status effect. because that's one that's important to continue increasing. Like the grenades, I have 3 grenade damage and blast area increases active on my build as he augments, and I've only upgraded each one between 1 and 2 times, but it's already at the point where you see a huge difference. You see a huge freaking difference in damage and area. Like the cluster grenade is so big now that it covers, like, you know, I mean, just a huge space, and yeah, that's very, very helpful when you're being attacked by a large group of enemies, or when you're attacking a large group of enemies and you want to kick off the fight with something that really puts them in a tough spot. Where the hell are they? Whatever, we're close enough. We're going to forget about the Dust Devils, and we're going to take this position. And look, it's their own homeboys. It's their own faction. I'm sure the Dust Devils want to come and help their friends.
Detecting additional hostile contact.
I keep hesitating to switch to my rifle because I'm still used to Streamline, you know, not activating for some reason. But yeah, how it doesn't work when you have the actual skill active, even though it only says it applies during cooldown. Well, yeah, so for that reason, my kind of muscle memory is kind of always telling me, you know, do not switch to your rifle when the skill is active. And I need to remember that doesn't apply anymore because I have Breadbasket on this. And I have to remember with Breadbasket to not just go straight for headshots, you know, to land those body shots first. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's it. And you know, with 19 rounds and accounting for, you know, the missed shots. Jeez, what the hell, man? I'm pushing the stick forward, and this idiot goes back to the position behind. Like, this keeps freaking happening. I don't know what the hell is up with this controller, but it's really freaking finicky.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Oh shit, you're right here.
Detected.
No siree, Bob. So let's pop this crate. That's 2, and I don't think we're gonna have time to do 3 in this video because we're at 56 minutes. But yeah, don't forget, if you know these apparel items are something you're interested in. You've already done the Charles challenge and all these challenges several days. You got a bunch of exotics that the final one you do will then give you the apparel items. So